Hello and welcome to Modern Toyfare News, the weekly show that talks about toys. My name is Michael, and with me, as always, is my co-host Jamar_Games. How are you this week, Jamar?
I'm doing as good as I can, even though I don't have a cool trench coat Raphael in my possession. So,
Hey,
yeah.
we can't give up hope that the Neca overlords won't give us a second shot at Trenchcoat Mafia Raphael. I mean, you have a chance at least in store. My Walmarts, they're like, no, we don't believe in collectibles. Here's some vinyl records with your Blu-rays because that's what you want.
Hey
Like,
man, a little bit of old school and new
what kind
school.
of hipster nonsense is that?
At least you have a section. My uh, Walmart's plural because there's a few of them and they are pretty bad on just putting things in the right spot. You got Funko Pops literally beside PlayStation 4 games. I don't know. Does that make any
I mean,
sense?
that's what the collectible section is at Walmart.
No, it's like
Are you
legit.
saying that
There's just
like there's like some by the games, some by the movies, and then some in the
yes,
toy section?
and they're not even. There's no price tag for them.
Oh, of
There's
course not.
just
That's way too much
PlayStation
extra.
controllers, and then or PlayStation 4 games, and then there's a like a row of pops just sitting on top. So I'm like, what do I look? I have no clue.
Oh man. Well,
How much are
I'm
these?
trying to remember. I know there's a couple of them from back when I used to still live out in Ohio that had the collectible section. I'll try to think about it
Oh
so
yeah,
that way you know which one's to hit up instead of your pitiful one that apparently doesn't know what it is.
it's like what are
Anyway,
these?
so let's get into a breakdown of how the show works. We're going to go through all the news stories that we could find for the week. Then we're going to go and talk about what's hitting shelves and what we've seen in stores lately. Then we'll do our weekly purchases and then we'll wrap everything up in a nice little bow. So let's get right into it with the news. Our first news story is going to be about the Hasbro fully animatronic Deadpool head. They put up a pre-order and a video for it. It has over 600 phrases. His eyes and eyebrows shift and move as he talks, so you get all the expressions that you'd expect from Deadpool. There is a companion app that will help you make him say specific things, and I assume there's a way you could just leave him on and he'll just casually talk to you. I can't imagine that you'd have a great conversation because he'd probably just start saying random things that have nothing to do with what you're trying to ask him. Um, I pre-ordered this. What do you think of it, Jamar?
It's actually pretty awesome. I was listening to like the video and sort of the commercial, and I thought, is this not Ryan Reynolds? But yeah, that's the only thing that kind of got me to maybe step back a little bit. But I would love to have this like on a bookshelf or so.
Right, I feel like he's in there somewhere because I can't imagine them paying someone to record 600 phrases. Because even like the little like Batman and wrestling action figures that like talk, those are just like some dude in accounting that they get to growl for a few minutes in an audio studio. They're rarely ever actual voice actors. So paying someone for that many lines for $100 toy, I can't see them doing. So I feel like it's probably gonna have him and the guy who played Eric on Boy Meets World, who's I still can't think of his name, and probably whoever voiced him in the animated Marvel movies that they've been doing over the past like decade. Uh,
Makes
on the other
sense.
hand, though,
I
I'm
mean,
surprised it was only $100 because they have their
right.
Boba Fett and Darth Vader helmets that talk and you actually can wear them, and those are usually around like 150 to 200. So $100, I was like, I'm all in. Let's do it. I'll have him on the shelf behind me
Still,
in the future shows, and he can just talk at us while we fail to do this podcast because my computer crashes a bunch.
cross your fingers.
Fingers
Wait.
crossed. Don't want to knock on fake wood. Uh,
But no, I mean $400 that's really not that bad considering like some of the premium like Furbies were like in the $80 range. So if I could get Deadpool head slash Furby, I'm cool for
I,
$100. That's not bad.
I just don't want it to turn into one of the like dying devil Furbies in the closet. That like the voice like Chip is starting to die, so it just sounds real sad, and then it's like just starts saying random phrases in the middle of the night when it's not even supposed to be turned on, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna get murdered by a Furby. It's been good.
But see, that makes it all the better that it's Deadpool because it totally fits. So I'm
I
cool
feel
with
like
that.
they have to in those 600 they have to have something that automatically does that just to mess with you.
Right.
Like
Just turns on like
he'll like
randomly
start
at night.
talking like an old Disney ride that doesn't work anymore,
Yeah.
and then he'll be like, "Ah, I just got you," and
That's awesome.
um,
Now, this is something really weird to think of, but you think it's like USB charging?
I would have to
Can't
assume
be.
so. Everything's
Okay.
USB nowadays. Like I can't
Yeah, I
imagine
mean,
them
you don't
being
know.
like,
Throw some
put some
batteries in.
double A's in there. Like I mean, that doesn't.
Portability, my friend.
Then again,
No.
for $100 they might have to because I can't imagine them being able to justify cost wise putting in a rechargeable
Yeah.
battery in there with everything.
So
I mean,
that brings the
especially when the whole head moves, neck, chin,
yeah.
jaw, eyes, everything. So that'd be a pretty low profit margin if they added a rechargeable battery.
That's true. I mean, the last thing that I think on this here is it makes me wonder how awesome it would be if it also could double as like a Bluetooth speaker. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I
And
just want to play
then he
music out
moves
of
around
with it.
while singing your
Yeah,
favorite
there you
Beyonce
go.
song. Like
There
that's
you go.
I feel like that's just
All my single
perfect.
ladies. All my single. Okay, yeah. That's the only Beyonce song I know. I'm sorry. I'm.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's the only one I know too, and that's the only one you need to know.
There you go.
Anyway, let's move on. So next up, SH Figure Arts has released some promo images for the Sailor Moon figures they're releasing. There will be more of the animation style colors. Um, Sailor Moon comes with her signature moon stick, interchangeable faces, and her cat Luna. Sailor Mercury comes with her Mercury goggles and supercomputer tech because 80s. Sailor Mars comes with a talisman. They don't have anything listed for Sailor Jupiter, so I've just and they just list her height, so I assume that's her special like
That's sad.
accessory. Is hey, we gave her an extra like centimeter, so she's like more in scale. And then Sailor Venus comes with her red V mask and her cat Artemis. These are set to release in November of 2020, and you can actually pre-order them right now on Big Bad Toy Store. I know you're gonna go pre-order them, aren't you, Gajumar?
Heck yeah, man. Actually, I mean, I don't ever really talk about this, but I mean, this is just one of those things that I'm not like a huge fan of Sailor Moon. But back in the day, Cartoon Network was throwing up that anime, and I really enjoyed watching Sailor Moon. And these figures look pretty dope. And also, I gotta make my joke pretty late. But speaking of single ladies, eh,
Oh no, they're 14 years old. That's no.
they're still single. I mean,
Well, Sailor Moon is in because Tuxedo Mask.
that is true.
Hello. They even have that weird like future kid that comes back. Like I'm pretty sure that like a season or two ago, the Flash just ripped off the plot of Sailor Moon.
That's
But
awesome, though.
yeah, these things look great. Like the bright and vibrant colors. I like that they're also been doing that a lot with the Dragon Ball Z figures. They're remaking a lot of the older ones that were more kind of not necessarily dingy, but kind of watered down to look more like the
Hmm.
manga. And now they're doing the bright colors to match the shows. So that's kind of exciting. But speaking of Dragon Ball Z, they also released the first and only image of Bardock, who's actually like officially canon now that they have the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Um, which obviously, since you enjoyed Sailor Moon, that means you had to
Yeah,
watch the Toonami Power Hour of that in Dragon Ball Z. So,
of
how
course,
excited
man.
are you for Goku's dad?
So, I mean, what I'll say is some of like the coolest figures, like just action figures, whatever you want to call it, um, are like DBZ. Like they just have so like, I mean, at least all of the photos, like when people are doing photography for like action figures, you can get so much like
Just like the
emotion,
range and
if you
emotion,
will.
yeah.
Yeah, out of like a Dragon Ball Z character. So this is really cool. I'm always like excited to see new stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I love just how like some of the colors, like the red and greens, pop against his black armor and stuff. Um, I am curious to see what accessories he comes with because he's pretty much only been in like two instances in the show, and one was a movie that's never been canon, and one is the new Broly movie, which he was only in the beginning. So
Right.
I'm curious to see what all they include, if they include like some accessories that match more the old or the new. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out because there's no release date. I assume price point he's probably gonna be around like 70 or 80 bucks like most of the other figure arts. But hopefully we'll get more news here in a month at San Diego Comic Con. Um, Next up, we did get some solicitations from our overlords over at NECA. The 89 Godzilla figure is set to hit on July 13th. This is, like, the box alone just looks awesome. It's got that movie artwork on it. The big selling point for me, like, I already love the 89 Godzilla, But you throw in an atomic breath accessory and take my money. I will buy that all day. Were you a
Yeah.
Godzilla fan growing up at all?
So this is gonna get me slaughtered, but my biggest connection to Godzilla was Godzilla 2000. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
oh
sorry.
no. Next year, you might as well just tell me your only connection to him was the Taco Bell commercials.
I
The
mean,
only thing I remember is the little dog going, here, lizard, lizard, lizard.
I do remember that though. That was some good marketing.
I had the
No,
little
but
talking plush that did that.
so you're worse. You actually supported that. No,
When
but
that came out, I was like maybe 10 years old, so I can justify that.
it came in like a meal for your kids' meal or something, right?
Oh no, those Taco Bell didn't play that. Taco Bell had those like real cheapy little toys. You had to buy the plushies of the Chihuahua separate.
Yeah, it's the
Those were like
kid.
an extra like $5 or $7 that you had to convince your parents to fork over with your taco. And I made them fork it over for every single one of them. And I'll tell you right now, those voice boxes better hopefully aren't the ones they used for Deadpool because they did not hold up.
Oh God. God. I would imagine that company's long gone.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these do catch my eye, like because of like the packaging and everything. When I'm like perusing Target, you know.
Mhm.
So I do like them. I do like it a lot. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'm shelling out the cash for it, but
I mean, it's only
it's
they're usually
tempting.
like 29.99. Like it's not like
Yeah, that's not terrible.
you're dropping $80 on like a Mezco figure or something,
Right.
or one of the Monster Arts figures.
And
Um,
then you have like a giant lizard and turtles. So
yeah,
I guess that's
exactly.
kind of the
You've
same
got a new
family.
villain for your Ninja Turtle figures.
There we go.
It's basic math, Jumar.
That's true.
that's gonna be your next weekly purchase. Moving on to San Diego Comic Con, though, with the con not actually happening, we've seen a lot of figures get announced and exclusives starting to get put up for pre-order. A lot of places have said that they're going to have their own video packages that they're going to release, whether it's like a Zoom or just a pre-recorded thing. Uh, However, some of the figures we've seen so far go up to pre-order. We've got a like blacklight style Tron that comes in a VHS, like the old like snap shell case. You've got the Iron Giant, which I'm pretty sure is a 12-inch scale. I unfortunately didn't pay attention to that part. I just got so excited. 'Cause I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's a Godzilla statue where he's kind of lit on fire. They've got a statue of the Infinity and Nano Gauntlets. But more importantly, this week we got two pre-orders. The first being the Mattel WWE Elite First in the Line Mr. T. Now, like, even if
Can-
you weren't a wrestling fan and didn't like watch WrestleMania 1 or 2 where Mr. T was there, everyone loves Mr. T, right?
Yeah, everyone knows Mr. T.
I
Can I get the line from you, Mike?
I pity the fool.
I asked for it.
I know you did, and you got that real terrible acting. You're welcome.
but
If the viewership drops right in the middle of the video, we know why, and you're to blame.
no, I mean this figure is the detail is awesome. Like I like everything about this.
Right?
I like
Like,
everything
granted,
about
it's not like actual like chains because he's 6 inches tall, so you can't really do much with that. But
little
they've
tiny
got
chains.
they've got like the molded gold chains, which it's like looks like there's so many. It looks like he's wearing 50 chains. Then they've got the camo jacket. He's got the bright blue tights, the gold boots. I mean, and the best part of the boots, like if you look close, it almost looks like the molding is gold, and it's not just painted that way, which is great because that means it's not gonna like flake off if you try to
Chip,
freeze
yeah.
him. Um, but his face, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time since I've seen a young Mr. T, so I don't remember how he looked 30 years ago. But his face
Yeah.
doesn't look quite all there. But I'm hoping that it's close enough for me at least. And of course, he's got his mohawk. Like
Yeah.
that they did a great job with that.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying in the face. Like maybe the molding for the details are too much.
Yeah,
But yeah,
they
I
almost like made him a little too pretty.
yeah. So
One
I
thing I will bring up. I know you this will be lost on you because you're not a wrestling fan. But in the announcement, they basically had like a big paragraph. And they ended with he's making it always making his mama proud because back when he was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, he gave like a 20-minute long speech where they finally had to like just start playing the music and kick him out. And the 90% of the speech was him talking about and thanking his mama. Like,
That's
more
awesome.
power to him, loving his mama and making her proud. But
Right.
man, that was a long 20 minutes for those of us sitting at home watching.
Oh man,
Also,
that's
though,
pretty
from
awesome.
Mattel, though, we did get a Jurassic Park figure, one that I almost bought, but I had to resist. They have the Barbasol Dennis Nedry, and I mean, I almost wanted this just so I could have a Newman figure, but I couldn't. I couldn't justify the 3 3/4 scale. This thing's awesome. Like, he comes in the can, you pull him out of it. It's got a display window. You press the top and it talks. Like, this thing is awesome.
The creativity with like the packaging and stuff is just next level. Like
Right?
it's
Like,
just awesome.
I mean, last year they had the gates for their exclusive,
Yeah.
and we have to talk about the fact that your father-in-law was the exclusive last year. And yes, I know most people aren't going to get this, so I'll
Well,
explain
we
it.
got two people.
We've got me, you, and maybe a couple of other fanboys. So Jamar's father-in-law showed up to his wedding dressed up basically as the dinosaur man. So when I found out who like that was him, I'm like, oh my god, I need to get his autograph. Like, why did I miss this opportunity? Um,
Now, to clarify, it was not cosplay. This is just his normal, normal,
yes, he
normal.
didn't go to the wedding being like, I'm gonna be John Hammond. This is
No.
apparently is just who he is. He is actually John Hammond, and Jamar is going to one day inherit the park and the island.
Now, I do have to sidetrack us from a joke that no one gets, but the actual inception of the toy, you have the larger can
Mhm.
that the figure comes
Oh
in,
yeah.
but then he also has an accessory of the smaller can, so you get the can within a can.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
especially how tiny the second can is. Like, it's just
Yes.
it's so microscopic, and then he comes with a piece of pie, and then his
Yes.
little bag that he's carrying everything in. And I'm pretty sure. Let me check. I think he comes with an alternate head where he's got like the spray on his face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Granted, I'm pretty sure because like it's such a tiny figure, and just the general fact that like they aren't going to get a whole lot of detail in it. Maybe they might have nixed it. So I know when they
Uh,
first like started showing pictures, he had it an alternate head with the spray on it, but I guess they must have got rid of it. But yeah, it didn't look good, so I'm kind of happy they got rid of it because it literally just looked like he like put his face in some dino doo doo. Like, it didn't have like enough green or something. Like, it just literally just looked like he face planted into that Triceratops
oh
crap
gosh.
at the beginning of the movie.
Now, how much are they looking for this? Like for the three and a half?
So the 3 1/4 quarter, I'm 90% sure it was 29.99,
Oh, that's not
and
bad.
I believe Mr. T was either 29.99 or 39.99. I actually pre-ordered him, but I sadly can't remember which it was. And
Just throwing that
unfortunately,
money out there.
they are both sold out though.
Of course,
So
makes
you're
sense.
gonna have to shell out that eBay money if you want it now. Lucky for you though, I'm pretty sure the Jurassic Park figures don't go for much.
Oh,
Even your father-in-law, I'm pretty sure, isn't much above what a
might get that
dinosaur
signed
is.
for you for a Christmas gift.
I, oh man, that would be the greatest weekly purchase ever.
Oh
And
God,
I was having it on my shelf. People are like, wait, isn't the actor dead? How'd you get his autograph? I'm like, no man, he's my
he's
buddy's
still alive.
dad. Like, don't worry about it. Oh
Oh God.
man. Anyway, um, I've lost my place in the show sheet. Here we go. So they also we got some more solicitations from NECA for the Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time Wave 2. The final box art's been showed off. And in this wave, we've got Shredder with his fancy lightsaber. We've got Leatherhead.
Mm.
We've got Raph and Mikey, both with their hoverboards. These should be hitting. I think they said the online retailers will be and comic book shops will get them on the 14th of July. So here
Hmm.
soon, a couple weeks. Um, I know you collect the animated and the movie figures just like me. Have you dabbled in the arcade figures at all?
No, because if I recall correctly, these were an exclusive for the other turtles, right? like
So
the San Diego, and I just remember being enraged of not being able to buy these. And
well, that's how it is with all the NECA turtles, though. Is they all start off as the
yeah,
oh, it's a Comic Con exclusive, and then you have to wait 4 years, and they're like, it's for everybody now, but with more accessories or less accessories or a different paint
yeah,
job. Um,
I just haven't really come across these in the wild.
well, it's because
And
you have to either because you're not gonna find them at Walmart or Target. This is gonna
well,
be either
yeah,
comic book shop or it's gonna be on like a retailer like Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth. So something you probably have to actually go look for because you're not gonna just kind of stumble on them. Wave one did have Leo and Donnie, so you're running two behind if you wanted to start catching up.
I mean, honestly, they do look very close to the animated.
Oh
So
yeah, it's the
I
exact same figure, just it's
yeah,
a
I
different
just
deco. They just gave it that 8-bit deco or 16-bit
yeah,
deco is.
I'll just settle for what I have, or what I might
I
have.
mean, you're not going to be
Let's
talking
see,
about
maybe we'll
them
get
later in the
Leatherhead.
show when we start talking about the new Turtles. Um, so on
Oh
Tuesday,
no.
Mafex revealed the latest figure in their Batman Hush line,
Mm.
and it's Hush, which we all kind of anticipate because we got two versions of Batman at this point for the Hush line. We've got Superman, I think Catwoman, so it was only a matter of time. But they knocked it out of the park. I mean, on top of the
Yeah,
usual
this.
like interchangeable hands, you get three heads: a Jason Todd head, the two taped heads, one that's kind of just angry and the other's angrier because apparently villains can't express emotion.
That's it.
Um, the coolest thing about this though is you get for his chest and belt, the emblem's going to be swapped out, so you get the H for Hush or the R for Robin. So if you want to display him with the Jason Todd head, you can have the R on there instead. Um, Even though it's ultimately just Clayface, so it doesn't matter. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't read a comic book series from like 20 years ago. Uh,
Hey now.
or see, well, I guess
Just watch the
technically
movie.
you can't watch the movie because the movie doesn't follow the book at
Oh,
all.
that's right. That's right. I
Like
remember your rage.
that train wreck. We're not going to get onto that. On top of that, he does come with Two Faces coin, two pistols, and he's gonna have his like slit Tim Drake's throat birdarang that can fit between his fingers. So that's kind of cool. It'll be cooler if they actually give us a Tim Drake's. That way you can have that kind of on your shelf with him and Batman in a standoff. I'm excited for this. I've already there's a guy in one of the Facebook groups who is a retailer, and I pre-order all my Mezco figures through him, and I pre-ordered this and the Hush Batman through him too. So can't wait for that to come out. Don't I didn't see a date yet because they just released the pictures, but I have to assume at this point it's gonna be next year because they haven't even started releasing the first set.
Oh, that's interesting that it's, I guess they want to get build the hype,
Oh
right?
yeah, well especially
And
because
get
like
those pre-orders
these are
rolling.
Mafex is in Japan, so
Okay.
it's gonna take forever. They'll have to build them, then they have to import them here. I mean, granted, most things come from China anyway, so it's not a huge
Right.
thing, but like it's a whole thing where like retailers have to do special stuff to get them. So it's probably gonna be a hot minute, and Mafex, along with a few other like Metacom, and there's one other that they'll like show you pictures of these things, and you'll get them 6 years
Mhm.
later.
Oh.
So I don't anticipate to be getting this in the mail anytime soon.
But I mean, it is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
Like, I love the progression from mad to
right.
madder.
He's just mad to me. He's like, like even like a smirking face or
Yeah.
something, or make the angry
Nah.
face more of like an open mouth, like he's yelling, so you can have that like big like a fist fight on your shelf with Batman. Nope, just angry to angrier. But this one you're gonna be a lot more excited because alongside the Hush announcement, Mafex announced the Into the Spider Verse Spider Gwen. They've already announced Miles and Peter Parker,
uh-huh.
so now you've got the trifecta. She does come with four interchangeable heads, two that are masked, um, one that has the normal eyes, and then another one that has like squinty eyes. And then you have two unmasked, and this is a little like weird because you've got one that's like a normal face, and the other is like that hey face.
Uh.
Um, and on top of that, she does look like she's gonna come with a opposable web like the others. They didn't. It's not in that like full picture, but you see her holding one in one of the cutoffs.
Yeah.
So I have to assume that's gonna come with it. But uh, and most importantly, she comes with a very tiny Spider Ham.
Yeah, I was like,
Like
just get to this.
I'm all for Spider Gwen. Don't get me wrong, and that version of her is fantastic. But the fact that I can have a tiny little John Mulaney sitting on my desk with a giant mallet just warms my soul. And apparently, I don't know how to create a show sheet because there is a date for these. Um,
Oh,
they are set to hit April of 2021. Apparently, in my mind, I was just going to read through both announcements and then get to the date, but that's what happens when past me doesn't communicate well with future me.
so where can I go to get these? I need these in my life, like
So
legit.
you'd
Is
be
big
looking
the big bat?
probably any of the major online retailers, so if you have Bad Toy
Okay,
Store or Entertainment Earth.
yeah.
Um, I do know, I don't know if they're still available, but they did have Miles Morales and Peter Parker up for pre-order as well.
Uh huh.
Um, Miles does come with like actual cloth goods you can put on his shorts and his jersey and his hoodie and stuff.
Oh my god.
So like, and then Peter Parker uh, actually comes with sweatpants. So like they went all out for these figures, and I love it. Anyway, so next up we've got Bandai gave us, and this was a deep dive. Like I haven't thought of this property in a long time, but they gave us a look at 3 new Digimon figures they're releasing, and I'm probably gonna
Oh,
butcher these names because it's been a decade or so since
this will be fun.
I've even thought about Digimon, let alone like played with them or knew any of the names. But we've got War Gagumon, Angelomon, and Garudamon, I believe is how they are pronounced slash used to be pronounced when I was a kid.
That was
Um,
a question, and if it's Pokemon, I got you.
right, same
Digimon,
thing. Pokemon, like 90% of them I can get. I can't get some of the newer
yeah,
ones because they got a little too wild for me. But you give me that like first 250 and I can name them for you.
right,
Digimon are a little harder because they had to be different enough and always have Mon at the end so that
right.
like Pokemon wouldn't sue.
But these
um,
are cool.
Right, they look really cool, and I loved it. They did have like some silhouette images of more figures they're going to announce, but that was
Huh.
pretty much it. They didn't even give dates or prices or anything for these. It was just a few pictures of them, and that was the end of it. I am hoping that we do get a like set of Garurumon, the wolf
Yeah.
character, because I need all of his forms. I need his like normal. I need his like his werewolf form. I need his like cool robot form. Like, give it all to me. Uh,
I can get behind that.
right? Like, and especially because with it being Bandai, you know it's not going to be like the figure arts where there's $80. It's probably gonna be like a $20 figure. So like that's a little easier to swallow for a property you haven't even talked about in 20 years.
Well, no, there was a new anime came out, right?
They,
Am I
they
tripping?
did do a new movie. I
Yeah.
still haven't seen
Oh
it
wait.
yet.
Okay, okay. I'm like, I'm not tripping, am I?
No, yeah, they 100% did a new movie. I don't even know where you'd watch it. I assume probably Funimation or
Yeah,
Crunchyroll, but I never could find it, so I never watched it, even though I really wanted to, because it follows the original
yeah.
Digimon like cast, I guess. Um, anyway, back on topic. More news from our overlords over at NECA. They have revealed the Predator 2 Ultimate 7-inch Guardian and Stalker figures.
Hmm.
The Guardian comes with a buttload of accessories. He has a spear, wrist blasters, which I had to figure. I had to actually look at the pictures for that because at first I thought they were like just wrist and shin guards, but when you look through the like solicitations, they have like normal like posed backgrounds and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
blasters. Like they each one like goes on a wrist and has blast effects and everything. On top of that, he does have interchangeable hands, an unmasked head and the masked head. Obviously, the blast effects that I already talked about, and my favorite, the murder discs, because you can't have Predator without murder discs.
Nah.
The Stalker doesn't come with quite as much. He gets a spear, murder discs, a human skull, because, you know, why not have a trophy? Interchangeable hands, unmasked head, and masked head. These are set to come out in October of this year. I assume it's probably the same price point as normal, like between 25 $30. I also assume they'll probably be at Target and maybe Walmart,
Yeah.
but they didn't really specify if they're exclusive or not.
Hmm. That
I've never been like Predator's cool, and we tried that Predator game that was a
hunting grounds.
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Um, but how are your feelings on Predator?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, they're always such a rad, like looking like figure, but I don't know. I don't have the connection to want to shell out the money for it. I guess.
I
It's-
100% feel it. Like they always look so cool, and they've got some that have like almost like look like glow in the dark blood and stuff
oh
like that.
yeah.
But I've only seen a handful of the movies. Most of them are probably the newer ones that aren't as good, and I just it wasn't something that I grew up with or that I saw as a teenager or something. It was like, oh, this is great, so I don't have that nostalgia behind it. Um, I was super excited for the video game, which they've apparently NECA has skins that you get with the
Oh,
figures that you can unlock in the
cool.
game, which is super cool. Of
That's a
the
really cool idea.
yeah, like that's a missed opportunity from Fortnite for their whole like look at the barcode you can scan on the
Oh,
box that does absolutely nothing. Like they could have totally done it where if you buy the figure you get the skin. That was missed opportunity, but not even gonna go there. These look super cool.
yeah.
I'll look at them when I go and visit Target regularly. Um, don't know if I'll buy them. Never know. Maybe one will catch my eye and I'll be
This.
kind of force my hand. Back to Mattel though, they did this actually announced today, which spoiler alert, while we have the show on Friday, we actually record the night before, or at least attempt to. Um, they just announced the Masters of the WWE Universe Rattlesnake Mountain Ring that comes with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan. Um, this ring is straight up Skeletor style. Like, I mean, granted, the
Yes.
other one was made of rock and everything too, but this one's got like that pinkish purple to it. It's got giant snakes as the ring posts. It has the like little rope bridge to get into the ring. It's super cool. I had no interest in He-Man or Masters of the Universe. That was a little bit before my time, so by the time I got around, it wasn't really on TV anymore. Um, Stone Cold does come with his vest that has like his logo and stuff on the back, or a logo on the back, I should say, and a pair of snake arms. And the Hulkster gets a battle axe, a chest plate that has the tears in the back of his shirt, much like he has on his actual shirts before he rips them off. And he gets a red and yellow helmet, which some people I've seen on Facebook have actually compared it to. I think it was maybe it wasn't WrestleMania, but one of the pay-per-views he actually had like a almost like a Spartan helmet that he had painted red and yellow
Oh.
and wore. People were like, "Oh man, it's just like that," and already like thinking about if they can take that and put it on their WWE Elite figure.
Throw the
um,
rest of the toy away.
right? Um, I know you. I mean, not to age you or anything, but I know you're a couple years older than me. That did you have
Dude,
Masters of the Universe?
I'm not that old. Although I did catch up like some of this stuff. But I mean, this would have been similar to like Thundercats, where again I can't remember what station or what TV show like channel I was watching it on, but I caught stuff from here. But I know these figures just because I saw a version with The Rock. Was
Yeah,
those like the
they're out.
original wave or
They've
something?
got 3 or 4 waves out right now. Like they've
Okay,
got everyone from like John Cena, and he's actually like got this like crystallized invisible like thing going
that's
on.
cool.
They've got Roman Reigns, The Undertaker. Um, Probably the coolest one in my opinion is they have the New Day, and it's
hmm
the face changing guy from He Man. So like you press it and it changes to a different member of the New Day.
That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, no actual affinity. You would want to get somebody like Jason who,
Yeah,
has their
Jason's a couple decades
golden
older than me,
Buckeye
so
card.
he might. He, the good thing is that he collects wrestling figures, but he's never gonna watch this show, so we can bury him just as much on here as I do on the Gimmick Minute. It's all good.
Awesome.
Um, anyway, so these are set to hit pre-order here soon on Walmart.com. I assume they're gonna be the $15, or actually
Look.
no, this is a set, so it's probably gonna be $40. I assume, like the old one was. Don't quote me on that because I didn't buy that one either, and it got clearanced out almost immediately at most WalMarts. So
Oh.
happy hunting. Um, so this one's a little more weird. This one we're gonna go to McFarlane Toys. There's a website. I'm probably gonna butcher this because I'm assuming it's across the pond. Suckapon.com has listed 4 action figures for The Witcher,
Yeah, this
supposedly
is
coming
cool.
from McFarlane Toys. You've got 2 7-inch ones, The Witcher and I didn't play the game long enough to know this person, Aridin.
Paradin?
Yeah, sure. Um, that person, Barack Gloss. Uh, so they're gonna have those 2 and 7 inch supposedly, a 12-inch version of The Witcher, and then just a random Walmart exclusive. There's zero other information out there right now on these, so I assume if it is real, we'll hear about it in next month when everyone starts doing their Comic
Bro.
Con reveals. Uh, I didn't play The Witcher, but I know you did. Do you have any interest in having a Witcher
Well,
figure 5 years after the game and a year and a half after
much
the Netflix series?
look, much like all of my fandom, if you guys haven't noticed so far, I've only dipped my toe in it a little bit. So like, I did play the Witcher game, and there's some characters that stick out to me, like some of like I believe it was like Trish or Siri. Those are figures that I would probably be into. Um, I don't know who
You
Iriden
don't want
Brecht
what's the
Glass.
Witcher's name? Gerald.
Yeah,
You don't want
Geralt.
you don't want Henry Cavill on your shelf.
I mean, if it's legit the Henry Cavill version, I would definitely buy it for real. But I mean, these are it's cool just to see that this property just having legs forever. Like
It is impressive.
it's
There's like
constantly,
5 years after the
something new
game comes
coming.
out, they do a Netflix series, and now
Yeah,
they're potentially doing action figures, which I can't believe it took them this long. Because as big as a
sure.
hit as that game was, despite the fact that I didn't like it,
Hmm.
like it baffles me that it took them this long to make some action figures.
I do believe the horse name is Roach. Would you get the? I just know the experience. You really liked the
No,
horse.
no. Okay,
No,
those horses in Red Dead Redemption were
that's what it is.
just
It's Red
stupid.
Dead.
Like, I'm sorry, let me get off my horse to go, like, wrangle or kill something, and then my horse is like, I'm just gonna mosey on over here and stand next to the train tracks, no big deal. Then a train comes by and just murders it. Well, now I gotta walk all the way back to town or find another horse. Great.
See, I knew you were a fan of horses.
I hate horses. Devil machines. Speaking, though, of McFarlane Toys,
And
they
devils.
I
That's a
mean,
good
it
one.
is kind of the devil.
Yeah,
They showed off some factory samples of the Spawn Kickstarter, which this whole like situation still is like incredible and dumb in my opinion. Like the fact that $1 million like toy company has to do a Kickstarter to get their toy out, I think is ludicrous. But the fact that they have taken it and now it's just every couple of feet we're gonna add something new and add something new. I honestly don't think this figure's ever actually gonna come out because they've been doing this thing since like the beginning of the year, if not later. I think maybe even back in 2019. And every milestone there was like, all right, now we're gonna do this, and we're gonna set the field goal at this, and you can get this, this, and this if you pre-order this. And it's just like they keep just piling on accessories and heads and paint jobs and weapons and crazy stuff. Like the fact that there's actually factory samples baffles me because I'm just like, wow, this may
at
actually
least they're
eventually
giving
come
it
out.
the right.
Which I
That's
like Spawn. I've never been like a huge Spawn guy to the point where I know a lot about him. I know Wes loves him. I think
yeah.
you've mentioned that
Oh
you
yeah.
enjoyed him.
I I actually had like quite a few of the Spawn toys like back in the day. I think it was one of those things that my mom didn't realize what Spawn actually was. It was just kind of big, when I was like preteen or whatnot,
Yeah, you
and
got
I
those
just
angsty years where you're like, yeah, give me the murder demon. Let's do this.
but there were really some like really cool like action figures overall, and just seeing this factory sample kind of gets me hype. But the fact that you mentioned it is on Kickstarter is a bit of a bummer because I've had like experienced quite a few different things just kind of disappear on Kickstarter.
I
More
mean,
specifically some
they've
turtle
crossed
stuff
over
though.
like millions of dollars at this point, so I don't think this is disappearing. Like I joke that I don't think
Yeah,
it's ever
but
coming out because they keep just extending the field goal and adding more accessories and stuff. But like, one, it's
it's
McFarlane
just you
Toys
can't.
because he has no like Todd has nowhere to hide if he just suddenly is like,
That's
sorry
true.
guys, I'm not gonna give you your $3 million back, but we can't make the toy. Um,
Well, I guess my standpoint is it could come out and be more disappointing. Like starting at something that looks amazing and
mhm.
they're really putting a lot of care into it, but it starts to slowly get away from them, and then they're like, "Oh crap, we got to just make something." So like,
Wait,
I don't know. I
I
mean,
like that you basically just described the entirety that is McFarlane Toys. In
that's
concept, they look super cool, and then as time goes on, we get closer to release, they become such a dumpster fire that you're just like, why would I even buy this? And I mostly direct that at the the terrible DC line. Like some of the stuff, like
Uh,
the armored Superman and the Hellbat look cool, but the actual figures just look so clunky and they they look so ugly, and the accessories, like, I'm sorry, Batman's grappling hook, the wire for it is not an inch thick compared to the figure. Like it's we just need to get off that topic before I go on another
so you
tangent.
haven't backed him on Kickstarter? Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. This is super cool. The only thing I didn't
Yeah,
like
it
about the
is.
Spawn Kickstarter is if you look at his like waist, he's kind of like at a tilt, which is very
I
much
noticed
old
it.
school McFarlane. Is everything was always like we gotta give him that dynamic pose because we ain't gonna have the moving parts. But now it actually
Uh,
has the articulation, so why not just get put him in that vanilla like abdominal
like,
stance?
yeah.
I mean, apparently, like he's got a pivot at his like rib cage, and then also at the waist, so he does have like he can move and stuff, but he's always
Hmm.
going to have that like slanted waist build. So even if you move it, unless you're doing like a super like dramatic pose, you can never really do just like a straight vanilla like stand there pose.
Yeah. Oh, it's still early on. They may take the feedback and
Uh,
straighten them out.
uh,
Doubtful. Doubtful.
yeah, Todd McFarlane's not one to be like, you're right, guys. Let me change that. Especially now that they're getting factory samples. Like once you start getting factory samples, there's no.
Yeah, this is it.
It's very rare that you're going to get a running change after that, especially something that's this high end. Because I'm pretty sure the Kickstarter was not cheap to buy into.
Uh-oh.
Um, However, like they did have like different tiers. Like you get one figure, or that figure plus the second version of it, or that those figures plus the third version of it. Kind of like Loot Crate did with the three Ninja Turtle boxes they're doing.
Right.
And each one had like a different head, different paint job, and different accessories. And then as they get further into the money, they're like, okay, this level gets this accessory, this level gets these accessories, this level gets that accessory, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
Sounds,
super elaborate, and I've like watched
yeah.
some people like Fwoosh has talked about it a lot, and even they can't keep up with all the accessories that this thing has at this point. Um, but yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to actually see it like fully painted and maybe see some review videos. Because I'll say right now, I'm not gonna hop on the Kickstarter for it. Unfortunately, I'm not big enough Spawn fan to play that waiting game. On to something that is absolutely incredible though.
This is
This
awesome.
is this may be the greatest action figure of 2020. Over at Big Bad Toy Store, you can now pre-order the Revoltech Revogeo figure from Kyoto. I'm assuming is how it's pronounced. Don't shoot me. I'm not weeb enough for that. Um, but it's the damn Murder Hornet. Like these things that were just a filler episode in 2020, where we went from World War III to COVID, then Murder Hornets, then back to COVID, and then on to like racism. Like we get that filler episode in an action figure form, and this thing
That's
like looks
awesome.
incredible. Obviously, it's actually called the Asian Giant Hornet. Has even fancier name that I'm not going to even bother with. But it comes with swappable wings. The pinchers and like face parts move. All the legs move. It's fully articulated. The stinger actually is retractable, so it like goes in and out of his butt.
Awesome.
I don't know what a bee's
I mean,
that part would
it's,
be. Um,
but
yeah, it's butt. We're just gonna use butt.
yeah.
I like it. It comes with a display stand. It is coming out this year. So on top of being a filler episode at the beginning of the year, you can own one near the end of the year, September 2020. However, the price point 105.99.
Ooh.
Like
Okay.
this
Wow.
Hornet is gonna murder your wallet.
Yes, there we go. That's a good joke right there.
Oh man, I wish that would
uh,
have been planned and it wasn't just spur of the moment. Cause that would have been, oh, that's great. Uh, uh, Moving on. So another thing that we actually got today on Thursday, their Wave 3 of the Ninja Turtles Ultimates from Super 7 was announced. We're getting April O'Neil, Michelangelo, Metalhead, and Rocksteady. Um, I have a long list of what they come with. We'll get that here in a second. Uh, Obviously, neither of us have bought into this wave so far. I know that because I know we've mostly just been doing the NECA movie and NECA animation Turtles. So
right.
I want your thoughts and feelings because I had some of the original Turtles growing up, but by the
Mhm.
time I got super into it, they had moved on to the weird, like, more based off the animated series ones that had, like, Leo had the pop out eyes and
Oh
Like
yeah.
they had the twirly wrists so they could spin their stuff around and like all the stupid gimmicky crap we got in the '90s. So where do you stand on these?
So, I mean, I guess I like the idea of it, honestly. I like the idea of getting something that's from like the we'll say like original run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the Playmate figures and just more modernizing it. But to me, it's kind of like a damn if you will, damn if you don't situation. It's so close to like the original that I don't want to buy it, if that makes sense.
I 100% get it. That's my problem with it. Like they're
Yeah.
so cool looking, and if I bought like the turtles, I would have the alternate head. I wouldn't have the old '80s head on them.
Yeah.
But they're too close to that original series, which I get is the point of the series. It's
Yeah.
all about the
Well,
nostalgia
yeah.
of it. They're trying to sell it to the guys who actually grew up with these, and like those were their toys. They had
Right.
the little plastic nunchucks that broke, and they had to go buy another one or just be like pitch
Well,
it. Um,
I mean, just even off of that, like the nostalgia factor is cool. But I mean, for someone as you know, you can see, and underneath the stairs, there's boxes of all the other loose figures and stuff that I have. I feel like I've purchased them so many times
mhm.
that now it's kind of like, all right, this is getting a little ridiculous. So maybe for me, as like the hardcore collector, you would think that I would want those, but I just want to see more unique like sculpture of the
Right, like the
turtles.
one thing I want most right now is a more modern day comic book version of these turtles. Like
Yeah.
we get everything. We get the animated series, we get all of the Nickelodeon cartoons, we get the movie turtles, we get the arcade turtles, which are pretty much the same as the animated turtles.
That's it.
Um,
Right.
the one thing we don't get is the comic book ones. Like we have the Mirage
Right.
ones, which those ones are incredible. Still my favorite Ninja Turtle figures of all time are the Neca Mirage turtles. But I just want something more like more recent, something that resonates with me
Well,
who read the comics for so long, even if I kind of fell off the bandwagon just because I couldn't keep up with the other 800 comics I have to read.
are you
Um,
referring to like the IDW?
yeah, the
Like, yeah,
IDW
okay.
ones, yeah.
That's what I'm like. Yeah, I'm 100% behind that. I would love to get something from that series, like figure wise. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. But
And
instead, they're just trying to pull on my nostalgia strings, and I'm
right,
like, no, I'm not letting you do it. I'm not having
I
it.
will say this: the one thing that almost got me to pull the trigger on these is the
Hmm.
fact that that interchangeable head does look so much like the comic books.
Uh huh.
Because the second head on each turtle just kind of has that more like modern look to it compared to the old like more turtle look to it.
Yeah,
Um,
I see what you're saying.
so like that almost got me, but then I'm like, even if you put the head on it, you still have that ungodly like giant black like straps for all their accessories and stuff, and like Michelangelo and Raph like have the big old like clunky like holders for them. Like I really don't want to spend $45 on these figures and then have to cut off their harnesses and somehow makeshift new ones just to get the look I want
Right.
out of them.
Right.
Well, I mean, which is saying a lot because I'm also the guy who actively has Mezco figures that are usually $80+ on my shelf that I
Right.
have chop shopped up to make other characters that I know Mezco will never make. So it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, like you said, because
Right.
they're so cool. The biggest thing that stopped me is I was ready to pull the trigger, and then they went with Bebop having just that pink head like he did on in the original figures.
Yeah, but you're talking about like with the soft head, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But is it actually squishy though?
I don't
That's
think
the
it's no, it's
question.
probably hard plastic, but they made it pink
Yeah,
so it matched the old figures.
yeah,
And like that's great for someone who like they want these because they remind them of their old
that connection.
toys. I though, if I wanted them, I'd want them to at least have a little more detail in it. Like the turtles, they look 1,000 times better than the ones from the '80s. But
Yeah,
you look at Bebop and now Rocksteady, and they look like just updated versions. Like maybe it's just early paint apps and they're gonna have more detail for Rocksteady, but Bebop's already in the books at this point, and he doesn't look like he's gonna have a whole lot of detail to him, which is kind of disappointing. And I almost bought the Shredders because it was cool, but then he had zero like ab crunch, just solid like muscle, and
sure.
I'm like, well, that's gonna suck to try to like properly pose him. So I don't know. Um, and then of course they had to do the Shredder head that had the painted on eyebrows on the mask. Um,
I mean, it's cool that like they stuck like extremely true to like the
mhm.
original. Um, it's just yeah, maybe I'm just weird. I'm sure there's an audience,
Oh,
especially
there's a
for
hundred
Turtle
percent an
fans.
audience. Trust me.
There's got
Like,
to be an audience there,
there's
but like
people who just love these things and lose it. I know.
yeah,
You know Nate, right? From
yeah,
Westfire. Yeah,
right, yeah.
he I'm pretty sure is pre-ordering all of these, and like he just absolutely loves them. So like, there's definitely an audience for it, and more
Mhm.
power to them. It's just I have so much I collect. I can't justify adding another version of the turtles that I have to invest in, especially at this price point. Because like you're looking at $10 shy of a 2 pack for NECA for just
Right,
one
45 a piece.
of the
Yeah,
figures. So I'm gonna have to hold off. Like maybe one day down the line when they're aftermarket and I have FOMO, I'll finally pick them up. But I, or maybe once they actually start releasing and I see some action shots, like some people taking pictures in their dioramas, then I'll be like, damn, I need that, and I'll drop like $100
that's
on
all it takes.
each of wave one and two, trying to catch up, and it's gonna just be a nightmare. But we'll see. So let's run down what all it comes with. April gets 2 pairs of hands, her camcorder, gun with tripod, wireless microphone, flashlight, TMNT portable computer, Ninja Stars open and closed, which I know Ninja Stars opened and closed. Apparently,
They
I need
kind
to look
of
at those pictures because I don't know.
maybe I don't know.
I just imagine like just a ninja, like a star, like unless maybe
Yeah,
they fold in half. I don't know. Anyway, press pass and a weapon rack, which they all come with that weapon rack where you have to like pop them out just like the old ones. Um, Michelangelo, you get 2 pairs of hands, interchangeable head, pizza box and slice, nunchucks, turtle fist daggers, ninja stars, comma. I have to look at the picture because I have no idea what that is. Grappling hook and weapons rack. You've got Metalhead, who gets 2 pairs of hands, radical robo chucks, portable party pack, radar foot blaster, utility belt, grenades, and weapons rack. And finally, Rocksteady, you get 2 pairs of hands, a retro mutagen gun, the manhole cover shield, turtle carver knife, grenades, and weapons rack. Um, I will say this: while it's cool that Metalhead has like the more chrome look of the old figure, I'm way more
yeah,
excited for NECA's just because of the accessories. I mean, none of those beat a vacuum
yeah.
and chest rockets.
Right. Again, I really want this metalhead from NECA because I already own like two versions of
Of
that
the
metalhead,
yeah,
like the original
exactly.
one. So that's why I'm like, I want, more newer things if I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be shelling out the money for it.
100%.
But that's just me. I'm
I'm
weird.
gonna have to every fiber of my being avoid ordering Rocksteady because you know I got me some love for Rocksteady, but if I get him, I'm gonna have to get Bebop, and then I'm gonna have to look at that ugly pink face every day, and I just can't do it.
Jesus.
But yeah, these are right now they're all up for pre-order. I know you can get them from Super
Big
Seven,
bad.
obviously, but if you
Oh,
don't want to have to pay up front, you can order them from Big Bad Toy Store. Like I said, they're $44.99. However, they don't have an official date right now. They're set for Q2 of 2021. Um, so the last piece of news, and this one is just um, more so a combination of a bunch of things Hasbro announced, along with something I kind of want to talk to you about. We're going to start though first with the GI Joe. They announced they're doing Snake Eyes and Commander, Cobra Commander masks. Both are going to be full scale, just like the Star Wars masks, just like the Deadpool head. They're going to be $119.99. They are going to be GameStop exclusive, which, while sucks, is also great because, like we learned today, GameStop at least you can pre-order things 3 months in advance, and Walmart you just basically eat
good
shit and
luck.
die. Um, these are actually coming out real soon. They're going to be hitting stores in October. Um, well, correction, Cobra Commander is coming out in October. Snake Eyes will hit in October. Um, I played with GI Joes as a kid, but they were more so the bad guys to my Batman and my Ninja Turtles, because the cartoon wasn't on anymore by the time I like was growing up. So I just had them because it was just a cool toy that you could find at Toys R
Yeah.
Us. And then like for whatever reason, my dad was like obsessed with getting me the sports ones, even though I to this day never showed any interest in sports. So I had like the weird football players and stuff that they put in
Yeah.
the mix. Um, How did you? Are you? Would you? I've never heard you talk about it, so I have to assume you're not a GI
Nah,
Joe guy.
not a huge GI Joe guy, but I do love the way Snake Eyes looks, like the visor and everything. Like
Right?
so, it's just kind of like really really cool. I kind of wish I was, but nah,
See,
not $119 worth. But
see, I'm on the opposite side of that. If I was gonna choose one, I'd go with Cobra Commander. Like mirror focus
really,
all the way, man.
I guess that's true. I just like the
Plus, you
blackout,
can
all
run around
black
and
hair.
do the like the because I only seen bits and pieces of the old show, but doesn't he
Oh,
have
ready
like
to get an impression?
the Skeletor voice? The I'm gonna get you, Joe. Like
Yeah.
so, like I feel like I just run around with that mask all day, like yelling at people randomly on the street, and then eventually get arrested. Um,
No, I've never seen one of these in person, like the mask. Well, obviously no one has because they're just not
I
making
say
these.
they haven't come out yet, Jamar. So unless you're from the future,
You don't know. But can you see through these? I would imagine you have to be able to see really
oh
clear
yeah,
through these.
100%. I imagine
Okay.
Cobra Commanders, if it's anything like the Vaders, there's probably gonna either the whole front of it is gonna be kind of like a plastic that has like almost like a double-sided mirror kind of thing,
Yeah, like
where it's
car tent.
yeah,
Like
like a
yeah,
car
like
tent.
you
Yeah,
can
that's probably the
see.
best way to describe it. It's
Okay.
definitely not gonna be double-sided mirror. And I assume the visor for Snake Eyes is just going to be transparent enough that you can see through it without them being
Okay.
able to visibly see your eyes, unless they look real close. But like Vader and Stormtrooper, I mean, the Stormtrooper head was or helmet was hard to see out just because that's how it's even built in the movies. So
Yeah, that's how it
shocker.
is.
Um, but the Boba Fett one, I haven't gotten to see in person. But the Vader one we got when I still worked at GameStop, and that one you could see out of because we may or may not have tested it out.
Of course, you gotta test it out.
Exactly. I mean, it was going on display anyway. Um, anyway, so let's get on to what I actually want to talk about from Hasbro. So
Yeah.
they are doing two mashups of Transformers. The first one is Back to the Future, and the second one is your one true love. I won't tell your wife, but Ninja Turtles. They will release zero information. By the time this goes live, I guarantee people have probably already found out what they are because they're doing on Friday a whole reveal for Transformers of different things. But I kind of want to speculate with you. Like, what do you think these are going to be based on old mashups they've done versus what you kind of want them to be? Because I know I
Well,
have some ideas of what I'd like to see.
instantly when I saw this, it's not even really a mashup that they've done with like Transformers in the past. But what it reminds me of is the mutating mutants Ninja Turtle figures where they start out as a turtle and they
Yeah, and they
transform.
transform into the
Yeah.
actual. Yeah, I remember
So
those.
if I could get something just similar to that, I don't know if it's or here we go. They're a party wagon and they transform into turtles.
See,
I'll take that.
that's close to what I was going with it. So
I'll take that.
I want to go one step further. I don't want just the party wagon. I want four
Okay.
separate vehicles that each turn into a different turtle. So I want the party wagon. I want the balloon. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like the blimp
Yeah,
thing.
the blimp.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
going from animated. Yeah, serious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like a cool like motorcycle
Ooh.
esque thing, and maybe I can't even think of another turtle thing, but I want a technodrome that turns into
Yes.
Shredder or Krang.
Yes.
Like I need
Oh
like a
my god.
5-figure series out of this where it's the vehicles and they turn into the characters. Even if there's like Transformer esque style of the characters, I'd
Hmm.
still be 100% down.
I'll be in. I'm even down with the like. I mean, I'm hyped for the TMNT,
Mm,
but the Back to the Future crossover as well seems pretty dope.
right? I,
Transforming DeLorean
I have to assume that's
sounds
what it's going to be because especially because
has to
they
be.
did the Ghostbusters with the Ecto One, so I feel like the
Yeah,
DeLorean has to be what's going to transform.
has
The
that
question
would
is
be
it just
awesome.
turn into a generic Transformer or is it going to turn into a robot Doc Brown
Or another DeLorean.
or another DeLorean? It just transforms into each movie's version of the DeLorean.
There you go.
It never like the main body doesn't change. It just kind of like
The
you shift this and oh look, there's the little like eco-friendly. You can pour your banana peels in. Oh, and you shift it this way. Oh, now it can go on the train tracks. Um,
no,
that would be
this is
brilliant.
this is an awesome crossover between these two properties
Oh yeah,
with
like
TMNT and Back to the Future.
I'm curious if these are going to be something that's released in stores or if these are going to be
Hmm.
them being like, this is going to be our big San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Order on Hasbro Plus now.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. I need this.
I
I don't
mean,
even know what it is, and I need it.
well, I mean, we have to have at least one turtle win because we all know that the NECA overlords aren't gonna do it for us.
They're not coming
But
through.
we'll get to that here shortly. Um, as far as hitting stores this week, we'll just blow through this because I know this has been a news heavy week, and for a first episode, it's getting pretty long. So we'll just kind of go as quick as possible. So available this week at your local comic book shops and online retailers. You have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Minimates Series 1. You've got DC Movie Gallery's Batman Returns Catwoman. A statue. You've got DC TV Gallery Batman Animated Series PVC diorama, which is basically just a statue. For anyone who confuses me, is why they call it a diorama. DC Video Game Gallery Injustice 2 Harley Quinn PVC diorama. It Chapter 2 Pennywise in a box. This thing's frightening. Like it's
It's
one of those
awesome.
boxes you crank and then it pops up at you. It's very upsetting. I want to give it to a small child. And finally, the Marvel Comic Gallery Morbius PVC diorama. Also, things that I've noticed hitting stores. A lot of WalMarts are starting to get the Elite 76 line for the WWE Mattel figures. Walmarts and Walgreens both are still popping up randomly with We're seeing a lot of restocks of the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse and Abomination waves. There's also restocks on a lot of the Ghostbusters and Real Ghostbusters figures that are coming out. The vintage card Star Wars Black Series sets are starting to slowly roll out to Walmarts. I know I've seen a couple of the vintage cards. I think I saw the Dagobah R2D2 and Yoda and maybe one of the Hoth Troopers. Um, and then the new exclusive Blacklight Marvel Funko Pops are hitting Target. And more than likely at this point, by the time you're watching this video, it's sold out because,
It's gone.
yeah, I went just because I was like, the Spider-Man one looks cool, and I went and that shelf was empty as can be. Like you wouldn't know something was there if you didn't look at the price tags.
It was as empty as hand
It was
sanitizer shelves.
it was empty. It was empty as my cart this morning when I tried to pre-order some NECA
Oh
figures.
no.
Speaking of which, it's time for Turtle Watch 2020. Oh
Oh
man,
god.
guys. So this week has been a dumpster fire for Turtles fans when it comes to NECA. Um, it was originally supposed to be a huge week because originally we were told that Wave 3 of the animated Turtles and Metalhead were going to hit targets, and the Casey Jones Trenchcoat Mafia Raphael were going 2-pack. We're going to hit WalMarts. Well, the Wave 3 for animation has been moved back a few weeks. No definite amount of how many few weeks means. Um, just they didn't want to have so much release at the same time was the excuse that they tweeted, which makes no sense because by the end of the story you'll know why because nothing.
It's not adding up. It's
Um,
not adding up.
Metalhead has been moved to the week of July 9th, just because he's stuck in customs. So he has an actual excuse. They're just trying to search all of his little things, make
He
sure he's
can't get into country.
yeah.
That's not an excuse.
he,
No.
he, he, he forgot his passport
Oh
at the factory.
god.
Um, now on to the real tragedy. The
Oh god.
Raph and Casey Jones 2-packs. Not only this morning were the pre-orders just a nightmare between them tweeting 5 minutes after they went live that they were live, and then being like, "Oh, well, the site's glitched out because too many people ordered at once, so it flagged them," and then saying it went back up, but then it kind of did, but kind of didn't, and then saying it went back up again, and then it didn't, and then radio silence for the rest of the day.
Keep
Um,
refreshing.
yeah, just keep refreshing was their response. You'll eventually get one. Well, guess what? I refreshed periodically over the past 10 hours, and I still don't have any in my cart. Um, so, like, this was a disappointment. And now they're saying that the figures in stores will either show up what would be today, now yesterday for you guys, or potentially sometime next week. Just depends when Walmart gets them because distribution. So that has been just an absolute nightmare. So we went from having a week where we were going to have all sorts of turtle figures, and them using the excuse that they have too many turtle figures coming out, so they need to move things around, to now we have no turtle figures.
Zero.
So happy Turtle Week, guys. Like I feel like Turtle Watch 2020 is going to be a couple months worth
It's gonna be depressing as
of
normal
segments.
2020.
Yeah, it's oh my god, it is. Turtle Watch 2020 is literally just the Ninja Turtle version of 2020. It's just full of disappointment and despair.
I mean, for me personally, I feel like the biggest disappointment is coming from what I felt was support.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I felt like, all right, they're saying they're very accurate on this is when we're gonna get this. This is like it was actually hopeful
Oh yeah,
information.
they were saying next week this
Yeah,
date that. Like
expect it
it was
here. Like
on Wednesday or Thursday. Like they were pinpointing things. They didn't want to give too much because
yeah,
they didn't want to like have everyone just waiting. But they
right.
didn't want to
They
be
were keeping.
wrong.
They were, yeah, they were doing exactly what you would want from any company.
Mm.
They were communicating, and then the shit hit the fan.
Oh yeah,
And then there
it
was like
spread
too
everywhere.
much communication that was like wrong information, right? It just became a mess.
And then the worst part is like as the week went on, like I feel bad for Randy because he has to deal with all this since he decided to
Yeah.
appoint himself as the guy. But like he just kept backpedaling on everything. Like 1 minute it was gonna be, oh, Metalhead is still coming out this month in June, so we were still gonna get him within this week or next week. And then literally less than 20 minutes later, he changes to, he's like, oh, actually, guys, he's stuck in customs, so it could be
Yeah.
anytime in the next couple weeks, probably closer to July 9th. Like, how do you go from this month
Now,
to
yeah.
July 9th? Like, you have that precise of a date that you think he's going to be there,
Yeah,
but 20 minutes that changed. Like, that baffles me. And then, I don't know
it's-
if I actually told you this or not, but things have escalated even further today for the movie Turtles. So, after hours and hours of not getting any communication, where they just basically just shut down Twitter and they were like, we're not talking to you guys because you're angry with us, they supposedly are answering private messages on Facebook, to which they're telling people that the online version of Raph and Casey is officially sold out and will not go back up, and the only way to get him is in stores. And the fact that, like, I'm assuming it's a different person than Randy controlling Facebook at this point,
right.
especially considering Randy doesn't seem to interact on Facebook or even on Instagram that much. It's primarily Twitter, so I have to assume it's someone else is in control of those. And the fact that this person is just like openly saying, "Oh yeah, sucks to suck, kid. You ain't getting them unless you can find them in store." But then Twitter just nothing. Like we went from
Yeah.
great
Silent.
communication to fake news to no news um, so quick. The only shiny thing, which at this point I don't know how accurate this is going to be either, they did release a full timeline for the movie Turtles at the Devil Store Walmart that we'll probably never find. Um, so with this, we're gonna see. Let me see here. You're gonna have the new turtles with their updated bandanas. So they're gonna have bandanas that go down each side.
That's cool.
Of course, something so that way, if you don't want new turtles, you don't have to get them. But there's an extra thing. So if you kind of want it and think it should have came with it
Yeah.
to begin with, you still have to buy them. Those are set to hit in July. We'll see. Super Shredder is set for August. The Foot Soldier Army Builder sets with the weapons rack, and they made sure to specify that because apparently there was some sort of question. Those are set to hit in September. The repack of Splinter and Shredder are going to hit sometime in the fall. Then later on in that same conversation, he did confirm that Taka and Razor are still set to hit this fall, but no month or time frame for those. So it's kind of up in the air. Here's fingers crossed that because so much of this stuff's up in the air, that maybe there could be a running change and they can just put it on their website or just tell Walmart to kick rocks and put it
Yeah.
anywhere else. Like put it in Target. At least
Sadly,
Target, I have a shot because they have a rep and a tattletale system. Like I can't do anything for Walmart if my store doesn't have that section. The employees there don't get paid to care, so
yeah.
I'm completely SOL.
It's true. I mean, is it too late to just say take it back to GameStop? You know, I
I mean,
know
I,
the
I feel like the only it might be too late to take it to GameStop just because contractual things. But since they already have a
yeah. Oh yeah,
contract
yeah.
with
I'm just.
Target, they might be able to kind of
Oh, I see
kind
what
of
you're
curve
saying.
it over and put it there instead, since they already have that
Yeah.
established relationship. Um,
Or
so
how about? Oh, I was just gonna say, how about just sell it through your NECA
that would I
store?
would love, especially considering
Because
the
we had no
slap in the
problem adding it to the.
face.
Yes.
Like, granted, we were stupid for trying this anyway, because they literally put in the tweet, for
Yeah,
international
international.
customers, here is our store. Oh, that's another thing I have to mention here in a second. So me and Jamar, of course, were like, well, we'll see if maybe we can trick the system.
Yeah,
Joke was on us. You get to the point where you put in your address, and it's like, no, you
we can't.
Americans, get out of here.
Yeah.
Um, so later on, there's more rumors going on. I didn't see any screenshots of this, but supposedly they're claiming that the tweets they put out today for the
Uh-huh.
communication were all directed at the international customers for the store, which didn't come until midway into the conversation.
That's some BS.
Yeah, so one, I don't necessarily believe that it's true from
Right.
with the lack of any screenshots or anything. But like if that is their scapegoat, like come on now, you think we're that stupid? You
Yeah.
literally tweeted these things.
Well,
Then like 20 minutes into it tweeted, "Hey, for international customers go here."
yeah, it was
And
after
then
the fact.
continued tweeting. So it's not like you were, at the beginning of the conversation that link was up. It was conversation was still flowing the entire time.
Yeah. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
I don't either. I think it was just they weren't prepared for the dumpster fire that is Walmart, especially Walmart.com, because even just buying things that they carry in store on Walmart.com is a nightmare. So trying
Yeah.
to buy something that's exclusive on their website, you have better luck just sucking on a tailpipe and hoping that you'll find it in another life. Um, it's a waste of time. But that's enough for Turtle Watch 2020.
Yeah.
Um,
Enough depression.
we're gonna go through our weekly purchases, try to cheer up a little bit, try to wrap this up so that we don't waste too much of your time, and that you'll maybe come back next week. Jordan, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So the first thing I found was actually slightly. Both of these are turtle related, if you can't
Oh, of
tell by this
course.
point. Well, first let's point out the child sitting here in the chair with my tattered Raphael or Michelangelo in the back there.
I just want to point this out. Granted, the viewers don't know. Me knowing that you have a kid on the way, when you say, "Look at the child in the background," I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Did they have their kid on the
So
way?
that is actually probably the first I'll say toy that me and my child will be sharing.
I mean, plushies are considered
AKA
toys.
AKA it's mine, you know. So
It's mine, but you'll put it next to the kid in the crib to take pictures, and then
right,
remove
that's
it when
it.
you're done, right?
So like outside of that, the other two things were slightly turtle related. So first thing, this again feels like show and tell. I kept coming up empty handed, so I had to buy something turtle related, and my wife was like, "Hey, check out these turtle Hot Wheels.
I keep
That's
seeing
really hard to
those.
see." Okay, so it's pretty cool. They didn't have Donatello, which was a sad shame, so I just settled for
I'm bringing one
Michelangelo.
out tomorrow.
Okay, awesome, because I really want Donnie.
Yeah,
I
my
wasn't
Walmart
gonna
has
buy
like
the entire
70
set.
sets of all of these.
Oh yeah, they're just cool. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, but you know, I kind of like Hot Wheels and I love Ninja Turtles, so why not, right? Um, but this here is something very special. So it is called the Hangries, and it is probably the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life, right? So this guy here is like a knockoff Ninja Turtle.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Have you
this.
seen it?
Yeah.
So what it is it's mutant turds. Everything has to do with poop. It's all poop related, right? So
I
there's a
love it
little hole at
already.
the bottom. You get these mixer packs to make like slime. You mix them up and then you can actually feed the turtle, right? So you put the the slime in here and then you lift up his leg, it opens the hole, wrong leg, and he poops it out. So like I had to get this just mainly because it's so silly
Oh my
and it's
god.
slightly turtle related. So I definitely had to pick that up. But it also came with a Pringles can that you're not gonna be able to read this, but it's called Poo Ringles. Everything's just poop related.
Oh
So there's
yeah.
other things out there. If you want like Five Nights of Freddy, it's Five Nights of Farts. Instead of Minecraft, it's Caca Craft. Harry Plotter instead of Harry Potter. So there, it's just super cheesy. Fart Night instead of Fortnite, but it's just a really like silly thing that kind of made me smile in the absence of my Ninja Turtle uh Neca figures. So you know
I
that was
mean,
cool.
if you have to go from dumpster fire to poopy turtle, I feel like that's the best transition ever. Like,
But yeah, it's
I
fun.
had
This
never actually paid attention to those to realize what they were. I thought they were those little things you press the head and the faces change. But the fact that now it's like, oh no, you can have these characters and those take a dump on your desk. Like, I
yes.
might actually have to look at these when I get to the store next. Like, that is
There's some
wild.
funny ones out there. I'm like, all right, why not? I'll just pick this up. It was like $6, and it made me smile.
And
But
made me
that's
like,
all.
I was already like, oh, it's adorable. And you're like, it poops, and I'm like, I'm sold.
And it's mutant turd, like
Oh yeah,
mutant turd.
you gotta have mutant turds. I mean, they aren't gonna have
Yes,
normal turtle poo. Like, come
that's
on
very
now,
true.
don't be a filthy casual.
Plus, he just looks like one of the long lost like turtle family relatives that are
It
just
kind of
kind of like,
reminds me
and
of
he's pooping.
the
That's
more
his poop
updated version
face.
of Slash. How he has like the black bandana and he kind of
Oh
seems
yeah.
more normal.
Oh,
So now you have Slash pooping on your
that's his butt.
desk.
It's his butt. It's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, that was my pickup for the week. Just random
I
here and there
dig it.
junk.
I've got a handful of things that this week. Some of them
Oh my.
I did some Facebook group and eBay ordering. Some of them were picked up in store. We'll start with the in-store purchases. So my first one, I talked about it earlier in the episode. At least I think I did. I picked up one of the Godzilla
Oh
NECA
yeah.
figures, and this
Oh
one
yeah.
I was actively looking for. Like a lot of them, I'm just like, it's cool, but I don't need it. This one, if you can see it, like he's got like the whited out eyes, his jaw moves. There will be a review coming soon of like all his articulation stuff. Um, it's from it's from the King Ghidorah, and there's another one of the kaiju's in it movie. There's like 8 million Godzilla movies, so it's really hard to
I
narrow
don't
it down
fault
to
you for
remember.
not knowing.
One thing I did find funny is so the tailpiece for him to fit in the box
Hmm.
um, comes like separately. It's a separate peg you have to put in, and there's actually instructions in the thing saying heat up a cup of water and then put the tail in it first before you try to put it on, because you aren't gonna be able to. I was like, okay, NECA, whatever, and
Yeah, like I
nope.
got this.
I'm like, all right, let me go get a cup of water. Um,
It was stiff.
it was real stiff. Um, Sticking on the Godzilla train, this I picked up today just because I was out and about and I was like, oh my god, I need these. I found the most adorable Godzilla socks.
Oh, those are awesome.
Like we've got Godzilla on there, a couple of versions of some like full body Godzillas. Flip it up this way so you can actually see. I've got Mecha Godzilla,
those are
and
cool.
then full body Mecha Godzilla, like and
It's
my
so adorable. Like
right? They're
the
like
just
adorable. And like the best part is my biggest concern was, I mean, okay, usually these kind of socks aren't for guys, so they're probably not gonna fit. But I was looking at the back and it had like a chart and everything. I'm like, yes, they're in men's sizes. So I was like, I have to have them, especially because I think it was like what? It was like $10, and I got 5 pairs of Godzilla socks.
Not bad.
Didn't have to tell me twice.
Right.
Um, Next up, this one is a slightly older release, so I had to go to eBay. This one you probably won't relate too much because you're not a wrestling fan, but I picked up the Mattel Elite Chase version of Buddy Murphy in his black attire. Primarily, even though it's going to kill me because he is a little pricey, I'm going to be swapping out his legs to make an updated version of him because he is a disciple to the Monday Night Messiah now, and I want to have the entire group of the Messiah and his disciples. So here's hoping I can figure that one out and find the parts I need. My
Without
last
breaking
purchase,
it
though,
completely.
yeah, well, it's like lucky with Mattel, unless that you're talking about like the head
Hmm.
or the like bicep, it's you
Pretty
generally
good.
can't break them unless you really are bad with it. Um, Popping the legs is super easy. Just a little bit of heat with the hair dryer, and they'll pop right out. The heads though, like those you borderline have to like boil a cup of water and then just sit it in there and hope for the best. Otherwise, you'll rip that neck uh, right off. But my final purchase, this one was more a repurchase. A few years back, I had to sell a lot of my Mezco figures, which pained me because Mezco is my number one here. As you could probably tell if you can actually make out anything on my shelves, most of it is Mezco based with a mix of WWE and NECA mixed in. But I rebought the classic style Spider-Man.
Mm.
Still have the Venom one. I never got rid of that one, but I was like, I have to have the classic. Gotta have the red and blue. And luckily, I found a guy in one of the Mezco groups who had it for a real good price. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm pulling the trigger. Not gonna miss out this time." I'll even more next week because I've got several things that are finally gonna start showing up throughout the week
Oh boy.
from
Oh boy.
Amazon, eBay, and Facebook groups. So be ready for a long weekly purchases next week. Um, but that's gonna be it for the show. If you stuck around for the
Yeah.
hour and 20 minutes that we've bored you to death, I appreciate you. Um, I want to thank you. Hopefully, you continue to support us and you watch the show and you enjoy it. Make sure to follow Modern Toyfare on Instagram and Twitter. I promise I'm going to try to be more active on Twitter, but most of the content's going to be on Instagram just because it's more photo friendly. And let's be honest, with toys, it's all about photos. You can't just type out things about them and be interesting. It's real simple. As you can see on the screen, it's at Modern Toy Fair. Um, Jamar, go ahead, plug all your stuff. I know you've got a lot going on in life, so let's hear it.
Not a ton, but if you did enjoy my small comedy role here on the show, you could definitely check out Why Are You a Gamer? It's simple. It's an interview format where I try and figure out why do we play video games? Because if you collect toys, you probably play video games. So I'd like to know why. And then of course, I think that's really it. Just follow me at is it right here?
Yeah, it's right
Is it right
there.
here? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, follow me at Jamar_games, and so you can see when new episodes and everything goes live.
All
That's
right.
all I have.
Awesome. Also, in case you are an audio listener, which I didn't think about until now, my tag
Oh,
is at modern MODERN Toy Fair TOYFARE, not actual Toy Fair. It's a play on words from modern warfare, obviously. And Jamar's is at JARMAR_GAMES. Just because I know that I am going to put this up as an audio version as well, in case anyone doesn't have time to sit for an hour and watch us talk about toys. Um, but you can also catch both me and Jamar over at Media Junkie. We have a couple podcasts. We're both a part of the Fanboy Fight Club podcast, where we basically take a property, we make it our own in some way, shape, or form, or choose a certain version of it, and we argue about it. And essentially, you don't want to be the loser because the loser gets to be the bitch of the week. So if you want to know more about that, go check that out on any podcast platform. I'm also on the Gimmick Minute Wrestling podcast. Me and Jason, Kevin, we have a great time. We talk about all the current events that are going on in wrestling. Lately, it's been a little less structured, more just kind of a conversation, which seems to be kind of going over well with the fans. So hopefully, if you like wrestling figures, you like wrestling, and you can go check that out and give us a listen and maybe a review or two to help us in the Apple machine. Uh, if you want to support us, of course, you can like and subscribe and hit the little bell so you can get notifications whenever our videos go up. But I do have a TeePublic store. If you go to teepublic.com, you can search Modern Toy Fair, Media Junkie, Fanboy Fight Club, Why Are You a Gamer, Gimmick Minute. All those will bring up shirts with our logos on them. And then if you click on it, there's be a little blue link that says Vault of Personality Comics. You click on that, it takes you to my store where you'll see all my designs that I've cooked up in the good old Photoshop machine. Uh, it really helps me out, helps me kind of support the drug addict that toys has become for a lot of us. So every little bit helps. Plus, then you get a cool shirt out of it. And I will say this: it's a little more expensive, but they do have tri-blend shirts, and they are the bomb, the softest thing
they
I've
are
ever worn.
very, very comfy.
Right? I see. I told you, man. Um, anyway, like I said before, like and subscribe, um, especially if you want to hear the news and you don't want to have to go look it all up. It's going to be a good way to kind of condense it down into an hour, whether you're listening to us on like a podcast app or you're watching us on YouTube. Either way, feel free to comment with any criticisms, anything you'd like to see, anything you'd like us to talk about. Modern Toy Fair news is going to go up every Friday, and then we're going to have Modern Toy Fair reviews where I go through and review mostly new, but even sometimes some old figures and even some customs and kit bashes I've worked on. Those will go up on Mondays, so that way you can enjoy those as well. That's going to be it for this week, so make sure to join us next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.